What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Legit Whiskey Reviews, and today I'll be going over 3 bourbons that I regret buying. So last year, towards the end of the year, I released my top 5 bourbons for 2020. This year I'll be releasing a list for 2021 of my top 5 bourbons, but with all the bourbons I've tried and tasted and bought this year, there's also bad bourbons that I actually regret paying money for, or I paid for them and at the time I thought it was okay, and then over time I realized I liked it even less, or just I didn't like it, period. So I have 3 bourbons today that I really regret buying, and a lot goes into it. It's either a combination of overpriced, overhyped, not being good at all, and just a combination of a bunch of things. But I have 3 bourbons for you guys, and first on the list, which I was kind of surprised by, I wasn't expecting this, but the third on my list for 3 bourbons that I regret buying is Old Forester Single Barrel Proof. So Old Forester Single Barrel Strength, this one comes in at 130.9 proof. That's 65.45% ABV. And when it comes to Old Forester, almost everything I've tried from Old Forester I really love. Even all the way from the bottom, the 86 proof to the 100 proof, and pretty much anything I've tried, I was a big fan of. So when I bought this, which I don't think I've reviewed yet, so just expect the review coming sometime soon. But when I bought this, I didn't think twice, because I saw it on the shelf. It's a single barrel, so I was expecting it to be really good. But proof isn't everything, and while the price wasn't super high for the proof, it was only $42 that I bought this for. I still found that it just wasn't for me. The flavors, there wasn't a lot going on, and it drank really hot. So all the whiskeys that I'm going to mention today, I'm going to give them one more shot to see whether I like them or not. And most of them I've tried over and over, and I've gone back to them, but for some reason they just don't agree with my palate. And this is one of them. Granted, like I said, this is a single barrel, so these could vary from bottle to bottle. Maybe I just got a bad barrel, who knows? But I'm gonna try it one more time just to see if it's changed since I last tried it. But just from the 2 or 3 times that I've had a sip of this, I just was really not into it. So let's see how it's doing now. All right. So on the nose, to me, there's just like, it's kind of muddled. I'm not sure why that is, but I do get a little bit now. When I first opened this up, the first few times I tried it, I didn't get any of the Old Forester banana that I really like, but now this time I do pick some up, but I'm still getting that sharp alcohol smell, which I wasn't expecting from Old Forester. But I mean, I'm getting classic bourbon flavors, but it just seems like everything's muddled, like kind of muted, which is hard to believe, especially for this proof. But let's go to the palate. One more chance here. Cheers. So it's still drinking really hot. I have some higher proof whiskeys than this one that don't drink this hot, and just the oak, it's pretty oaky, but the oak that I'm getting is like kind of like tannic and bitter. It's not like a sweet oak. I'm not sure like what the age is. These are non-age stated, so it could be that they're not super, they don't have enough age for that oak to come in. But it just drinks really hot. There's tannic bitter oak that I really don't enjoy in whiskeys, and like I said, the classic flavors are there, the brown sugar, the caramel, the vanilla, but especially on the nose, I just think it's like really muted and muddled, like there's nothing really shining through. And then when it comes to the palate, it's better, but it's just like way too hot. It's just way too hot, and just like I said, that bitter tannic oak that I really don't enjoy. So I hope, you know, over time this does open up and gets better, but as of right now, even though I only paid $42 for this, I regret buying. This is just one of the bottles that I really wish I wouldn't have bought because I'm not enjoying it right now. So, all right, so number 2 on my list. This was one that I was really looking forward to this year when they released it. It's a blend of MGP whiskeys, and when it was released, you know, I couldn't wait to get it. And they have a bourbon and they have a rye, and the one I picked up was the bourbon, and I just was really disappointed with this one. So number 2 on my list is Stella Bourbon. All right, so Stella Bourbon, this one comes in at 114.98 proof. That's 57.49% ABV, and this comes out of Barrel Craft Spirits. So Barrel Craft Spirits, they put out all the different barrel products. I reviewed the Dovetail before, which was a really good bottle. They put out numerous different bottles, and they experiment with all kinds of blends and stuff like that. So this one, like I said, I was really looking forward to it. When I opened it, it was another one that drank way hot. And it drank way hotter than the 114 proof, and I found it to, even though I don't think that's the case, there's not a lot of younger whiskeys in here, it really tasted young. It was like grain forward, like a dusty corn note that was really coming through. Like it was just like really grain forward, like a lot of sharp edges, alcohol spikes, and that really turned me off to this one. So while this one drank really hot, this one drank really hot, and it tasted young to me. So it's something that I really didn't enjoy. And this one I've gone through, you know, quite a bit. I've had at least 4 or 5 pours of this over time, and the same thing, I just haven't enjoyed it. I haven't had it in a few weeks, so let me try this one, and hopefully it's gotten better, and maybe I won't be so disappointed. All right. Okay, so this one is better on the nose from what I remember. It's a lot more mellow. It's not as spiky as it was when I first picked it up. It smells sweeter than it did before too. But I think where this one got me last time was in the palate, and more than anything. But I must admit that the nose does smell better, so let's go to the palate. Yeah, it's gotten better. I must say, like, the bitterness that I was getting, I'm not noticing as much. It's gotten sweeter. It's not as spiky. The sharp edges that I was getting the first time I'm not getting anymore. Not as much. I'm still getting that grain forward type note in the palate that I really don't enjoy. Let me clear my palate, cleanse my palate here. Try again. All right. Yeah, I just can't get over that grain forward taste in my palate. And this second sip, the second sip, that tannic oak bitterness I'm getting towards the back of the palate, which I really don't enjoy. So So yeah, this is another big disappointment. I don't remember how much I paid for this. I got it at retail, whatever retail is, anywhere between $45 to $50, I think. I don't really remember, but one that I regret, another one I regret buying because, yeah, it's just, I just feel like it's not for me. A lot of people may disagree with me on this one, but as far as my palate and what I like, yeah, I really don't enjoy this one. But that's why you guys should never trust like one person's review or one person's palate. Try it for yourselves and maybe you might enjoy it. But as far as me, my palate, this is one that I really don't enjoy and another one I regret buying. All right, so let me cleanse my palate again. All right, so last on my list, by far, this one won out over all the other two whiskeys as my most disappointing and most regrettable purchase of the year for me. The bourbon that I regret buying the most this year. It's not really one that I was expecting or looking forward to, but when they announced that they were releasing it, I thought, wow, they were trying something different, something that maybe I'll enjoy because it's different from what they usually put out. And last on my list, and by far most disappointing and the one I regret buying the most this year, is Basil Hayden Toast. Alright, so Basil Hayden Toast. And as you guys can see, I've gone through quite a bit of this just over and over, just trying to find anything that I really enjoy in this one. The first knock on this is that it's $50 right off the bat. And you say, okay, what's so different about this one and then the Basil Hayden, regular Basil Haydens? So the difference is that this is kind of like a double oak product. So, but they're charging the $50 and it's still 80 proof, so 40% ABV, just like the regular Basil Haydens. And that Basil Haydens, I always say it's one of the most overpriced bourbons on the market for what it is. And same with this one. When it came out, I was giving it the benefit of the doubt. I thought, hey, they're trying something different. Maybe this one is gonna be different. And proof isn't everything, so that's why I decided to give it a shot. But $50 for 80 proof bourbon, I still say, hey, proof is not everything, so I wanted to try it, and so disappointed. It's not even close to anywhere near $50. At the most, maybe $25. That'd be a decent price to charge for it. But I think they're marketing more towards like beginner bourbon drinkers, where their palate is not so expanded, and I think this is just geared more for beginners, something more, it's just super mellow, not a lot going on. But I'm gonna try it one more time again. Let's see if it's gotten any better. But I've gone over and over to this one again and again, and I haven't found anything that I enjoy for this one. And I know this one is only 80 proof, so I'm gonna cleanse my palate one more time. Here goes. So yeah, same. So it's really sweet smelling, mild caramel. I really have to like dig and search and deep in the nose here, in the nose, just to try to get anything. But it is sweet smelling. I can't get anything in here that says this product is double oaked. Most double oaked products I really love and I really enjoy, and this one I can't really tell that it's a double oak product. I can't. It's sweet. I get sweet caramel, maybe a slight bit of vanilla, but that's it. I don't get any spice. As far as the nose, I don't get anything else. Maybe a tiny hint of oak, but for the most part, this is just like caramel, vanilla, sweet smelling. That's it. No fruit, nothing like that I can pick up. yeah, it's pretty simple, but again, let's try the palate. Yeah, so disappointing. This is pretty much like water. It's just right away, it just disappears from the palate. It doesn't linger. It's super short finish. Barely any flavor there. Granted, I did come off of these higher proof whiskeys, but even when I've tried it just by itself, it's the same. It doesn't linger. It doesn't stay around. As soon as you put it in your palate, gone. Just right away. Super watered down. The flavors barely come through. The same thing that I got on the nose is pretty much what I'm getting in the palate, but even more subdued in my opinion than the nose. So really, the most disappointing bourbon, and the bourbon that I regret buying most this year, is this Basil Hayden Toast. Big waste of money. There's nothing going on here for me. At the very least, I'm gonna use it as a mixer, cause I really don't enjoy it drinking it neat, just because there's nothing going on. It's pretty boring to me. So yeah, there you guys have it. You guys can drop a comment. Let me know if you guys agree, if you guys disagree. What do you guys think about all of these? Have you guys tried the different single barrels for Old Forester? And if you guys tried the Basil Hayden Toast this year, let me know what you thought of it, because I really didn't enjoy it. And this is probably like my worst rated whiskey for the year, for 2021. So if you guys like my content, remember to smash that like button. Remember to subscribe. You guys can catch me on Instagram at LegitWhiskeyReviews, and keep it legit and do it for the love of whiskey. Cheers.